Now Clint Landon, who played a little bit of the slot a minute ago, now line. It's going to be second down and about 5 after a gain of 5 for the Outlaws on that play.
It looks like Marlow likes to run a lot of misdirection, Maurice, that motion they have with the trips, spreading you out and kind of have you guessing where the ball's going to go.
And exactly. So here we go again. This time 2-back set, 2 receivers off to the right side, and it looks like the Falcons got into the neutral zone. They're a little anxious on the call. A penalty against number 44 for the Falcons. That is Keelan Durham, the junior, going to get caught. Little anxious on the play. It's going to be close to a first down. I know they're going to go ahead and give it to him. 1st and 10 Outlaws. Outlaws have this drive start inside the 5-yard line at the 3. Now they're getting back to work, putting together a nice drive when the Falcons look like they might be able to get off a field a couple of times. 10:38 to go in the first. 0-0 is the score. Week 0 here at the Good House. Our running play. Noah Torres again to the gain, 5 to 6 yards. And again, these are chunk yards, Miles. These are not those 2 and 3 yards. They've been able, right now, that offensive line from the Outlaws have been able to impose their come in. Now that offensive line from the Outlaws have been able to impose their come in. Brendan Weber. Shotgun, single back. Going to throw it to the outside. Pass is going to be caught. Screenplay. This time the Falcons gobble it up. Was able to read the play and bring him down, get third downs, and really excel on that side of the ball. Landon Clint found a crease and took it in from 28 yards out. 28 yards, and the Outlaws are on the board first to start this 2026 season. Impressive, but once again, ground game has been specific. They have run with total intention right now. Miles, you're talking about a team that overall put up 88 yards on the ground on this possession. It has been very impressive.
It has been impressive because if you watch the first few plays of the game, Millwood seemed to stop the pass, and you see Marlow kind of spread it out and start going up the middle and running the ball, and I think they're staying to their strength right now.
The extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And so Marlow hangs 7 on the board. 7:39 to go in the first quarter of this one. The Falcons will have a chance to respond immediately right after this. We're going to stay here instead of taking a break, and I'm just going to make that. One of the things I always do enjoy is that, now, again, you've played Madden, Miles. You've played some college football.
Yes, sir.
We all have done it. I always like making sure that I get the ball first in the second half. To me, that is paramount. And when you have a team that is learning, getting used to things, figuring it out, you like knowing that you're going to get the ball here. So even though Marlow scored, you're saying, okay, we go back, answer, we can keep it even, get our feet up underneath us. We have a chance to do what we need to do in the second half of the game.
And I agree, Maurice, 100%. I think I love having the ball in the second half, no matter what the score is, right, if you're down or up. My prediction is for early in the game, viewers, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game on both sides. I think it's going to be a little shootout here. We're going to see the high-powered offense of the Falcons here.
All right, well, we're going to see. Now, the Falcons are going to have to do what Marlow did. Marlow saw the pass wasn't going early. They were able to run the ball. So now we're going to find out right now if the Falcons are able to accomplish that same feat. To me, that's going to be an important detail on that. And on that drive there, it's worth noting that Clint Landon rushed in that first half. In that first possession, he already has, I think, acquired 47 yards rushing on that drive. So that's a trend to see if that number continues to climb for the Falcons. For Marlow, and see how the Falcons can look at those numbers and then turn it around the other way. So here we go. Kickoff's about to be done by Jeff Gilbert. Tonight's game, of course, being brought to you by OCCC, SSM Health, and Super Prep. And back to receive the ball deep for the Falcons. Looks like we've got Quincy Hill back there along with DeMontre Butler. And Butler has it, catches it right there about the 10-yard line. Butler looks for a crease, cut up the field. Butler's dancing, gets a little bit of excitement, and is going to take the ball beyond or out to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 is where the Falcons will take their spot. And trotting out on the field. Actually, he's actually running out on the field with confidence. London Lewis getting a chance to start for the Falcons tonight. I don't care what game you watch. Every starting quarterback kind of gets that initial jog, and then they kind of pause and like, yeah, let me just get there.
Little confident jog.
Lewis said, hey, London Lewis said, hey, no, let's get to work.
Yeah.
Let's get to work. So the Falcon offense is going to come set here. Let's see what the Falcon offense brings to the table. 7:33 to go in the first quarter. They are down 7 right now. 3 set right now. Twins to the right. 2 backs in the backfield. Vic is back there. And before things get started, ball's going to get handed off right up the middle. Dance up the middle with a nice burst of speed, still on his feet. Cutting around the edge and gets a gain of almost 9 yards on the play. Quincy Hill.
Very nice
senior.
on Quincy Hill.
Quincy Hill with a gain of 9. Falcons taking a little bit of time right now. And one of the things that I find interesting right now is how teams like to come set. The Falcons look like they're going to take a little bit of time because one thing I'm not used to seeing, a huddle. Not used to seeing a huddle. One of the things that you get used to now in this spread offense, we hurry back to the line of scrimmage and get back on the field, which means the Falcons' intent might be a little bit of ball control. 3 receivers, twins to the right, 2 back formation, Lewis in the middle. Looks over the defense with 5 seconds. He's got to snap it. Ball snapped. Going to hand the ball. Vic loses it. Vic has to find it. Had a little trouble.
He got it back.
He did not get the loaf of bread in a clean handoff. At least he made the intention to go ahead and get the ball. So the Falcons are going to lose a couple of yards on the play, setting up 3rd down, loss of 2. 3rd down and about 3 on the play. But it's worth noting there that at least he made the effort to find the ball. Sometimes you're so busy thinking, I'm going to get it. You're not paying attention.
Yeah.
The ball can roll around. So good job for Vic on that in a bad situation. They're going to pitch it to the outside with a burst of speed. About the 44-yard line. 1st down, Millwood. And swings it, throws it right out there, and catching it right in stride goes Quincy Hill, and Hill gets a 1st down for the Falcons. Comfort and communication work tonight. You had mentioned it in pregame, Miles, but some of the other games Super Prep is going to be at.
Super Prep's at Bigsby and Owasso right now, and Bigsby's up 14-0 on Owasso, but I was just told Owasso's about to make that 14-7, and Choctaw is down 7-0 to Mustang at Choctaw.
So you want to get more scores like this, check out the Prep Zone, airing, of course, on OKC Sports Radio 105.3. That will begin at the conclusion of the Putnam City game, and you can get all that. And Lewis takes a shot. Did not see that one coming, and it just looked painful from the moment he said go. Shooting in like a missile was Brendan Harris. He came in there untouched, clean, and I guess right now you just got to ask yourself, if you're London Lewis, just get yourself composed. He never looked left. He never heard the footsteps.
No, he didn't, and I think he's a little shaken up from that. But he had Kevon Shields wide open over here, and he was looking at him. Backside was unprotected.
Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous hit. You never like to see a quarterback take a shot like that, but Lewis popped right back up. So right now we've got 3 receivers. The Falcons are going to throw it in open space to get into the hands of Hill. Hill spinning on his feet. Going to take the ball up near the 20-yard line. Going to be knocked out of bounds what it looks to be about the 19-yard line. So it's going to make that. They're going to give him the 20. They're going to give him the 20. So 3rd down and 10. 9:52 to go. Miles, we talked about this a little bit. It's going to be very important now that the Falcons find a way to maintain this drive. Right now, you're talking about a Marlow team that had run the ball successfully. Now they found success in the passing game. So right now you find yourself what we call in the danger zone.
Yeah.
Right now in the game.
The Marlow's finding their confidence on both the run and pass right now. I think that's very dangerous for the Falcons right now. 3
receivers right now, twins to the right. Lewis and shotgun, ball snap. Lewis going to fling it to the outside, and the pass is going to be caught, making some people miss. He's trying to get enough for the 1st down, depending on the spot. And it looks like they're going to give it to him right there at about the 31-yard line.
Flag on the field.
And there's a flag on the play. It's coming back. Looks like it's going to be holding against Millwood. So that's going to, from the spot of the foul. So they're going to march it back. So it'll be somewhere right there, right around the 10-yard line. In fact, it's going to be at the 10-yard line, so it remains 3rd down and 20. Well, maybe 2nd down and 20 if there was a foul on the play. Shouldn't it be? So it is 3rd down. So it's 3rd down and 20 officially. Ball snapped. Lewis going to swing it out to the flats. Has a receiver out there. Caught. Kevon Shields. Going to get a little bit of space to operate.
Flag on the field.
And there's another flag in the backfield area, in the area of holding again. And it is holding against the Falcons. Falcons in full reverse mode right now.
Holding on the Falcons.
So given the spot of the foul, that's going to move the ball inside the 10 now. And the Falcons are going to find themselves, or they declined it. They declined it, excuse me. So they took the result of the play, so it's going to be 4th down at about 16 to go. So the Falcons are going to punt the ball away. Joshua Estrada going to kick it. And Estrada kicks it away. Takes a bounce. It's going to get scooped and picked up there by Murray. And Murray runs into his own player that time. He thought he was cutting inside, and he took him down there. That'll be something that Marlow gets to talk about in the film room a little bit. Say, hey, when I say left, I mean my left, not your left. So 1st and 10 Outlaws. The ball will be in Falcon territory. So 1st and 10 now. Ball inside. Ball inside the 35-yard line, right there at about the 33. So 1st and 10 for the Outlaws. The Outlaws so far in this contest have 160 yards of total offense overall. All right. We're going to have to recheck that in just a minute here. Ball snap. Weber decides to take off. Goes downhill. Take the ball with the quarterback keeper inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play.
Gain of 7.
So it is officially 221 yards of total offense now. So that's what they have basically, and that's before this last play. So you're going to be sitting there right about 230 yards of total offense in the first half of this game. 8:47 to go. It's a long way to go in the second quarter here. The Falcons got to find a way to get Marlow off the field in the offense. For the exception of the first possession, Miles has really, from Millwood's perspective, has had some difficulty in terms of being able to get consistent offense going. Now running up the middle again. Missing tackles, breaking tackles. Noah Torres bounces it inside. It takes the ball inside the 20, close to the 15. They're going to mark the ball at the 17-yard line. So 1st and 10 Outlaws. Outlaws once again doing a tremendous job of establishing physicality at the point of attack. Been able to run the ball, get all the crucial yards they've needed from that standpoint, Miles, and it's really been an advantage for them all evening long. Weber hands off to Landon. Landon gets to the outside. Landon finds a crease before he's finally bounced out. Just inside the 10-yard line. He may get down to the 9, which is going to be close because it might set up 2nd down and about 1. 7:53 to go. Those running yards really starting to mount.
Add up, yep. The Falcons look a little tired out there now. I mean,
well, that's the other part about
yeah,
this because you have to ask yourself, you know, as you reported, Falcons are also without some talent going up the middle of the field into the end zone. Touchdown, Marlow. Noah Torres right up the middle for a gain of 9. And just continuing to carve up the Falcon defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they're carving it just like you carve a turkey at Thanksgiving. They've been able to find gaps. They've been able to find creases to really attack. 6 foot or more. Then a roll right throwback to the tight end is going to end up with a 2-point conversion. Good for Jackson Miller. And the lead continues to expand. It is now sitting at 27-0. Time to take a break. We'll be back on the other side. This is Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, Old Triple C, and Super Prep.
We'll be back with more Millwood football right here on Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140.
Hater,
Yeah,
you need to get some good version of points on the board.
you do. And
Just-
for some morale going into halftime, some juice. And I think this is a big driver for the Falcons, deciding the juice going into halftime.
And it all starts with the score. I mean, Miles, you've called countless and seen countless basketball games. You could be down 20 or something, but a couple of quick baskets, quick momentum change, and you feel good, and it doesn't seem as bad. No,
It's a little
absolutely it
different.
is.
It's kind of hard to get that momentum. Go Quincy. Okay.
Quincy cuts to the outside. Is going to be bounced out just inside the 30-yard line, right about the 27. And drawing a little bit of a yell from the Marlow coaching staff because he broke contain on the outside. Trenton Thompson was getting the earful from the coach, talking about, hey, come to the outside. Don't give them that type of space. So, again, it's really important for Marlow, Miles, to keep the Falcons in front of them.
Yes.
When that Falcon vertical speed can be exposed, the Outlaws may struggle. So the Falcons have got to find ways, Coach Gerald Jones has got to find ways tonight to create isolation one-on-one plays to see it.
And spread out the Marlow defense. Get some space going.
4 receivers now. Ball snapped. They're going to run up the middle this time. Grizzard with the carry. Grizzard is going to take the ball up for a gain of 1 or 2 yards out to the 30. Setting up third down and what will be, let's just say about 2 yards, 2.5, maybe 3 yards to go. 7:15 to go. Very important that the Falcons get the first down here. And to me, I'm at the point now that I'm letting London Lewis run the ball. If I could call a play here, I'm running some kind of a draw play, simply foot for that. 4 receivers, bunch formation. They're going to pitch it out to Grizzard. Grizzard has got to get upfield. He's got to go north-south. He was trying to stretch out the angle, and that played right into what the Outlaws wanted. It's important that you've got to run north and south against this team and create the space. Now let's see what Coach Jones decides to do. Is he going to bring out the kicker here? And he does. Because when you try to run the stretch plays and try to get to the edge and Marlow's playing back, you're basically running right to me.
Yeah.
So on those calls, you've got to find a way to do it. Now, if you got somebody with some speed that can get to the edge, Grizzard has speed, but he has to get it going. And when you're not at full motion, or they say trying to build up speed, and a high up kick, it is a shank for Estrada here. The kick does take a Falcon bounce. It's going to be
Oh, he touched it.
touch the ball, and they're going to sit there and say that he was not touched.
Well,
Hey, listen.
Was it a fair catch, though?
Listen. He ran up underneath it like he was going to do it.
yeah, he did. That's what.
And so the the Millwood coaching staff talking to the officials about it. But as it stands right now, 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. 6:01 to go. The Outlaws are looking more precarious if the Outlaws can find a way. And here's the thing about it. Falcons are getting pressure and getting the personnel on the field right now. Three receivers. Gonna fake it. Gonna throw the ball deep again, and this time it's gonna be intercepted. Wasn't able to bring it in. Demontre Butler went up and caught it at the highest point, but could not secure it. And a wise decision there by Jackson Murray, as Murray went vertical just to dislodge the ball. By hitting and making contact against Demontre Butler, he wasn't able to secure it. Butler had a good thing in mind, Miles. Butler said, if I could catch it on my feet, I got a chance.
Yeah, he did a little 360. I thought he came.
But nice job again. Got to give credit where credit is due. Jackson Murray said a nice little elbow, little chicken wing. Dislodged that ball right there. 2nd down and 10. And this time the Falcons crossed into the neutral zone. It's going to be an offside penalty. Going to move the ball 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 now for the Outlaws. Probably a yard shy of midfield here. Miles, right now, don't hurt yourself by penalties.
No, you can't.
Second down, 5:53 to go. Weber has the offense coming set. 3 receivers now stretching out goes Noah Torres. They're going to swing it out to Torres in the flats. And Torres gets hit, and then there is a hit and a flag in the backfield. Marcus Vick looks like it's in the area where it could be a bad hit against the quarterback there. Personal foul, late hit. And given Vick's demeanor, it looks like what that could be. Now Vick is pleading his case. So it is. It's going to go against the Falcons here. The Falcons have it. Yes. Roughing the passer. It's going to be the call against. Going to be the call against the Falcons at the end of the hit. So that will give Marlow a 1st down and then some, as they will march the ball inside the 45 down to the 43. The officials are going to talk here because I don't know if that's the right spot. It's not the right spot. It should be a little bit more, 5 yards more, and that just, it's just, I'm just saying.
You spoken into existence, Maurice.
I'm not, and again, I'm going to get a lot of hate mail on that. Why did you say that on there? But no, everybody knows. He marked it off for 5 yards. It should have been a little bit deeper. Roughing the passer is a 15-yard penalty.
1st down, outlaw.
You know, here's the truth, fact of the matter. If we don't hit the quarterback, then I don't have anything to talk about. All right? But here we go here. 5:43 to go. Weber in shotgun. Calls the inside slot receiver in motion. He dances and cuts back. Going to hand the ball to Torres again. Torres, what a blast right up the middle. Stepping through Falcons, is going to finally get knocked down inside the 20 at the 15-yard line. It will be another huge run of almost 20 yards for Torres. Torres on the night now with that big run. He just picked up a run of 18 yards.
Time out on the field.
And the Falcons are going to call for time. I'd be calling for time because you've got to find a way. With that run, Marlow has rushed for 194 yards in the first half of this game.
And it doesn't look like they're going away from the run either.
No. And that's why you just keep it in tow and you just keep things going.
What do you say going into halftime, Maurice, as Jared Jones stepping in as head coach for this game?
Well, this is what you have to say here is we have not finished a defensive possession well. We have not finished an offensive possession well. In other words, we haven't sustained anything of consequence. So if we can come out and execute, we can really see what we are.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, all the momentum sits with Marlow.
It does.
Marlow has been able to convert third downs. Marlow has been able to run the ball successfully, and then when they wanted to, they were able to throw the ball. Comparatively speaking, Millwood has a total of 58 total yards of offense. 58 total yards of offense. And when you have a goose egg on the board, you're just not getting it done. I mean, that's the difficult part about it as we get back to live action now. 5:26 to go, 1st and 10. Now if you're Millwood, you want to be opportunistic. You want to create a turnover. You've got to find a way to build some momentum. Now, we remember when I asked you earlier, you get the ball back in the second half.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be nice to go in the first half scoring something,
Yeah.
get a chance to then come out in the second half and then get a second possession?
I think there's a flag on the play. I think it's
Is it delay of game? No, it can't be. Clock's
2 men on the field. I think the ref's counting.
Are they counting? Is it Millwood? Looks like that. So as it stands now, and this is the thing that everybody has to remember as well. You know, 35 points, running clock comes your way, and it shortens the game. Now, if you're Millwood, you don't want Marlow to put the points on the board.
No.
You want to open back up the door. So here we go. Ball snap. Going to hand the ball off to Torres. Torres blasts his way down inside the 5, nearly to the goal line again.
Torres on the carry.
Torres has simply been dynamic. Torres in his own right now has 70 yards rushing. 160 yards rushing in the, I'm sorry, that's not the correct number. It is a total of 279 yards of total offense. 202 of it is on the ground. Going to work. Torres right up the middle, bounces in and scores.
Touchdown, Outlaws.
Torres in from 3 yards out. So the great thing about the running with these options is it's really just stacked it up and really put an advantage point for the Outlaws, their physicality on the line of scrimmage. That is the story of this game to this point.
Battle of the trenches.
Yeah, it's the battle in the trenches, and that's really what it comes down to, because the Outlaws have been able to set pace, set tone, and come into the good house right now and really, really, really put a sting on the Falcons to this point. Low snap, and they're going to throw the ball, and it's nearly caught for the 2-point conversion. It was a botched snap, and they tried to make something out of nothing. Wasn't able to do that. So as it stands right now, the score sits at 33. Is that 33 to nothing?
Yeah.
33 to nothing right now. So the Falcons need to try to find a way. I just talked about it a little bit, in which I said this is a team that needs to find a way to get momentum built. You got to find a way to score something. You score something and then go into halftime. You get the ball back. You have a chance to build on something. But as it stands right now, when you cannot stop the Marlow rushing attack, it makes it very hard because they've been able to create space. They've been able to get you with different styles of backs. There are multiple backs. Only one of them, one of them has 100 yards rushing. The other one has 73, and one of them has 19. And then you talk about the quarterback itself with 13 yards rushing. That's how they get to this number. And they have just been so dominating in the trenches, Miles. It's been impressive.
It has been impressive. Marlow's a physical team. I think in warm-ups I kind of sensed it when I walked around on the field. They got some big boys up front, as Maurice alluded to earlier with, someone 6'3", 240, right? You said earlier.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you're talking about. I mean, they've got sophomores 6'1", 290.
Oh, same team.
And the players are not communicating and are going to fall down right inside the goal line, right there at about the 1. Nobody communicating on the kickoff. The players run into each other. And so now this is where a young team has got to find a way to talk. They got to find a way now to shake it off. And they got to find a way to focus right now.
Yeah.
Because right now they're struggling. When you have two guys going for the kickoff and you collide into each other and fall down, that means you are finding yourself in a difficult situation.
A very difficult situation, you know. I'm interested to see what they run coming out of this.
Well,
this
you're
kickoff.
inside the 5-yard line. So what you're going to do here is you limit your options of what things you might be able to do. You have to consider immediately about running the ball. That's what you have to immediately consider. So they are just there right about the 1-yard line, and they're going to throw it into the flats. Finds a crease.
Uh-oh.
Open space. Nice run, nice catch, nice throw. Catch was made by Kevon Shields.
Shields on the reception.
Is going to take the ball beyond the 10-yard line, and the Falcons get a first down. The conservative thing here to do is to run the ball so the Falcons were able to get some kind of momentum going. Can the Falcons continue to build? Clock continues to run, 4:42 to go. Score was 13-0 at the end of the first quarter. 20 more points coming from Marlow. Hill can find nothing. Marlow with great pursuit down the line, just stretching the play out, and then eventually closing the edge, leaving Hill with nothing. He's going to lose about 4 yards on the play, maybe 5. Second down and 15. And this clock, boy, I tell you, it's giving Millwood many opportunities to stay in the game, but it just seems like it's slowly going down.
It is slowly going. It is. Better than going fast.
Oh, yeah, well, it is, but you really want to feel like the game is in a different type of game. It looks like the only ones having fun today is that run up the middle is cut short. The only team that looks like they're having fun right now, Miles, is Marlow. You know, so now third down after a loss of a couple more yards, you're staring down third down at about 17. So you want to keep the clock running. So you have to start thinking about field position, because right now you're putting Joshua Estrada in a difficult situation if he has to punt this ball. Under 3 minutes to go. Ball is snapped. Lewis drops back, looks, throws it to the outside. Too much pepper on that pass over the top of the receiver.
Incomplete pass.
So it's an incomplete pass, so fourth down. So the Falcons are going to have to definitely punt this ball here. But given where Estrada, where the ball is, Estrada will be in the end zone. It's going to be key for a clean snap here. Clean snap, Miles.
Yeah.
And then you want to get a good kick to try and flip
Some
the
good
momentum.
protection up front.
So we'll have to see how that one looks on that side. 2:52 to go. Clock is not running 3 seconds. They got to snap it, and they do.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's a shank. Estrada shanked it, and the ball's going to bounce backwards. It's rolling back inside the 5-yard line. You are talking about a 2-yard punt. Estrada got straight up under the ball, kicked it straight up in the air. It is a net 2-yard punt. The ball was, well, it might even be a negative yard punt because I do believe the ball was on the 7. So it is a minus 5-yard kick.
Outlaws will take over on the 7-yard line.
So now Marlow sits at the 4-yard line. So it's a minus 3 kick on the play. So first down and goal for the Outlaws. Dancing, into the end zone. Touchdown, Outlaws. But there is a flag on the play. Clint Layton got into the end zone. Ball was into the end zone right there. So it's against the Falcons. Too many men on the field that time. So with that penalty, I'm sure the coach is going to take the touchdown. So here's the call. Too many men on the field against the Falcons. Okay, so the result of the play is a touchdown. It took him forever to put his arms in the air, so it is a touchdown. So the play now pushes the score to 39-0. So 39-0 is what it is now. So 39-0 is the score. So as it stands right now, and high snap again. And looking, and this time he's going to be brought down. The ball is going to be picked up by the Falcons, but he's going to be brought down. Another difficult snap there, but as it stands, it is 39-0. Time to take a timeout. We'll be right back. This is Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, OCCC, and Super Prep.
You're listening to Millwood Football on Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness, so you can smell unstoppable.
Let's get back to more high school football on Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140.
All right, we are back. The penalty of 12 on the field is going to be enforced following the play here. So it was enforced on the kickoff, so the Outlaws will be kicking the ball off from the Falcon 45-yard line. And once this ball is kicked off, based upon the rules that we have, how it's been interpreted to us, it will go into a running clock at this point. And in high school football, I can really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because at the collegiate level, when you start getting hammered, it's 56-0. They say, no, you got to take all
day.
You got to take all 60 minutes of this whooping. Yeah. And that's kind of how they do it. So we'll see here. Again, it's time. If the Falcons can score, get it back under 35, the clock will stop. But as it stands right now, Gilbert kicks it away. Into the end zone it goes for a touchback. So it will be 1st and 10 Falcons at the 20-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at some of the scores going on across the landscape of high school football this evening. We'll break down some of the numbers that we saw and remind you tonight, coming up immediately after this game, Prep Zone will be airing on, of course, OKC Sports Radio 105.3, D. Wright, and one of Coach Luke Orvis. We'll be talking to Prep Zone insiders, giving you scores and stats, talking about the games that have gone on. That all comes up. So be tuning in right around 10 o'clock so you can get all the latest on all that. And Lewis is going to get wrapped up and brought down. Going to get dropped inside the 15, back down to about the 13-yard line. Clock continuing to run. It's about 2:12 to go. So second down, and you could easily say about 20 yards to go. The Falcons trying to find a way to get in Court Lady momentum back to their side. 4 receivers, trips to the right side. Lewis in shotgun. Ball is snapped, single back. Lewis throws it to the outside. Pass is deflected.
Incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass intended for DeMontre Butler. So third down. .147 to go. .19 seconds on the play clock. Ball snapped. Lewis drops back in the pocket, rolls to the right side, decides, drifts back, throws across the middle, has a receiver wide open. And the Falcons have found some traction,
Nice
completing a
run by
pass to DeMontre Butler. Butler's going to take the ball above the 40 and get knocked out of bounds. One of the biggest pass plays of the night for the Falcons, just biggest plays of the night, period, for the Falcons. And the Falcons sorely needed that. And again, that might be the way to get something going here, Miles. If you can get London Lewis on the edge,
On the road, yeah.
rolling left to the right side, he might be able to find some pockets in those zone to get some one-on-one action and see if the Falcons can score. 1:32 to go. The Falcons have one timeout left. Lewis is rolling to the right side. He's looking, he fires it, and the pass is going to be caught. Quincy Hill in the flat. Going to take the ball inside the 40, inside the 35-yard line, down to the 34. It's going to be a Falcon first down.
The Falcons, first down and 10.
Looks like, wait. There must be a flag on the play somewhere. I don't know where it is, but the officials held up where.
I think it's a sideline warning, maybe.
It might be, but we need to know for sure, because when you hold up the sticks, okay, so there's the flag is on the Marlow sideline, right about the 40-yard line. So the chains needed to be reset. Dead ball. Waiting on the official call. Okay, so there's a penalty against Marlow, personal foul penalty. That's going to add 15 yards to this. So the Falcons are going to find themselves in a really good situation here with just about 90 seconds left to go. So it's going to be first down and 10, ball at the 15-yard line. 39-0 is the score right now. The Falcons are looking right now to make something positive happen. 4 receivers, trips to the right side. Ball is snapped. Lewis is rolling right, feels the pressure, fires it over the middle in a dangerous territory. He threw it in what nearly was double coverage, and then it looked like the safety dropped in there and was almost triple coverage back there. Dangerous pass.
I think Butler was wide open here outside the 10. I think Coach Jones was pointing to that after the play was over.
He was, but Lewis, when he was rolling to the right, Marlow's defensive end came up and made him retreat. So 2 things was happening bad. He was throwing off his back foot there, and then he threw it back foot into the middle of the field. It's a big no-no. Bad things happen when you're on your back foot throwing in the middle of the field. Quincy Hill goes north and south, gets what he can. Clock continues to run. The Falcons may have gotten a yard out of it. So third down, or they're saying no gain. Okay, a gain of 2. Under a minute to go, 50 seconds. Clock continues to roll down. .40 seconds.
Third down and 9.
So third down and 9 is what it stands at right now. The Falcons need a first down. They can get one if they can get inside the 5-yard line. Ball snapped. Lewis looks right, Feels the pressure. Quarterback draw. Fires across the middle and the back of the end zone. Fly, Falcons, fly. Touchdown, Millwood. And the Falcons put 6 on the board. What a great play design. Lewis, once again, on the move, in the pocket, rolling right, stops on the dime, has a receiver in the end zone, and the catch was made, and the Falcons put 6 on the board. So now we're going to see Joshua Estrada. They're missing somebody. Falcons are short. They better get this ball off. They are a man short on the field. Kick is right through the middle, and it's no good. Wide right, or wide left, I should say. So 39-6. Falcons cut into the lead, 33 yards, aided a little bit by what Marlow brought. So into this situation right now, Millwood has put up 77 yards in the second quarter, now has 128 yards of offense. But better yet, they've put their first points on the board for the 2026 season. So 24 seconds left to go. If you're Millwood now, this is what we talked about. Score. Marlow likely will take a knee. You go into halftime, you come back out with an opportunity to put some more points on the board. If you can do that, you're not going to scare Marlow necessarily, but you can get the sense that maybe something might be.
They can make it again. Yeah.
You can change some things, but it all starts with making some plays. So now, making sure they have the right amount of players on the field. So 24 seconds on the clock. (39-6), 24 seconds on the clock right now. All right, here we go. Estrada to put it up. Can always count on Mr. Evans hyping up the crowd with the wood chant. Kick is away. And unfortunately, it's going to drift out of bounds for illegal procedure. So it's going to move the ball to the 35-yard line. The danger with that kick was if you kick it in the field of play, you're more than likely going to keep them right around the 20. With moving the ball to the 35-yard line, you might entice Coach Weber to say, hey, let's take a shot.
Yeah. Let's put some more.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? So as it stands right now, with the ball being now officially.
I think it's a re-kick.
Okay. So we're going to re-kick it. Okay, so I completely missed that one.
Well, I think the kicker's back. Yeah, Estrada's back out there. I think they're going to
re-kick it because they're moving the ball back to the 30. Okay, and I'm still trying to understand what happened there.
Now this looks more like the NFL kickoff.
Well, okay. No, you didn't go there. No, you didn't.
You know, this is kind of where they started.
That's crazy. So anyway, at this point, just keep it in the field of play. What you don't want to do, again, you're kicking it from your own 35-yard line. You're going to give Marlow a chance at a decent return here. And back to receive the ball deep for them is Clint Layton. And also back there is Noah Torres. And Layton's going to end up with it, catching it about the 22. And
blindside block.
Blindside block coming this way as he runs the ball out to the 30-yard line. But there is a big-time hit.
Flag on the field.
So it looks like he's able to get up on his own power, but that was a nice, I won't say nice, that was a nasty hit. You don't like seeing players with that. Hope the young man's all right. That player is Ben Franklin. He says he's all right. So blindside block against Marlow, so that's going to move the ball back as the red moon rises above the good house. The Falcons likely, Marlow, that penalty will likely make them take a knee. And we'll get into halftime. We'll have a 5-minute break at halftime, come back and talk some more, give you some insight, get some scores from around, 18 seconds on the clock. But you got to be careful here, Millwood. You got to pay attention because you don't want to fall asleep here. And Weber's going to throw it. He runs to the right, has a crease wide open. He's going to run down the sideline and run out of bounds with 10 or 11 seconds on the clock. And again, he took a chance. There's a flag in the backfield holding against Marlow. So that'll bring it back. Again, Falcons getting a break. That holding penalty is going to move it back. And on the night, that is a total of 8 penalties overall for Marlow right now. So now it'll be first down and about 20. Ball spotted inside the 10. We'll say it's at the 8-yard line. And now the Outlaws look like they're going to take a knee now. And they do. And the final seconds will run off the clock. At the end of the first half of this one.
That will be the end of the first half. Outlaws
39-6 is the score. Outlaws on top. 5-minute break on tap. We'll be back in just a minute. This is Millwood Falcon football brought to you by SSM Health, OCCC, and Super Prep.
at Douglas down the street versus Dallas Kimball, but the score of that game was 46-0 Dallas Kimball.
Yeah, there's a couple of power outages there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know the Falcons, they ain't too bad at hearing that score. But,
well, I mean, again, and it's not poking fun, and
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
making fun. I'm just saying when the team that you were hoping that would have something to say about what was going on, and you look at that and you hear that score, you're like, ouch, that's what you're saying. And if there's a power outage, yeah, there's power outages everywhere. The power outage here at the Good House was 39-6.
Yeah.
As they say, at least the light is on. You know what
Yes.
how that goes. Looking at some of the other across the scores, of course, going on in Class 6A tonight. One of the other games that we have going on on PPBC TV right now. UConn is up 24-0 on Putnam City. Putnam City, of course, having their home opener, but that's kind of what's going on there. And then again, Mustang seems to be sitting pretty comfortable against Choctaw.
Yeah. And, Bigsby and Owasso battle the Burrs. Bigsby holds a one-touchdown lead, 21-14. And then Arkansas, Heritage Charles playing Shiloh Christian. Heritage Charles up 18-15 right now, just a little bit after halftime.
And, of course, Norman North and Norman tonight 17-3 at the end of the first half of that game. So a lot of interesting things. I was interested to take and pay attention to that game last night also that was taking place south of the border of the Cotton Bowl when you start talking about Jenks and South Carroll.
Yeah.
And South Lake Carroll. And, of course, that is Baker Mayfield's backyard, is it not? If I'm not.
Tyler. He's from
Well, that's where he's from.
Yeah.
What didn't he play for the
Quinn
high
Ewers played for
South Lake?
Carroll.
Okay,
Quinn
that's
Ewers.
Quinn Ewers. Okay, I got you there.
Yeah.
But they managed to find a way to come back against Jenks last night
Yeah.
and win
I was
34-33.
hoping Oklahoma boys will get done.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of how that is right now. Right now, it seems like the Texas folks are having an upper hand all over the place. Speaking of that, do the Sooners do they get back against Texas this year?
I think so, but it all depends on John Mateer. It's on the quarterback this year for the Sooners.
It's on the quarterback, so we'll have to see if that goes. So taking things back to look how things developed around here at our game that we had here, Miles. This game really was dictated by what Marlow was able to successfully do in the first half, and that is run the ball at the number of 207 yards total rushing in the first half of this game. 290 yards of offense, and you're telling me 207 of that got on the ground? That's just a nasty number. They've been physically imposing and winning in the trenches.
They have, and we thought Millwood was going to counteract that a little bit, but they found a rhythm in the trenches, and they're going full force down there on the run game.
And so we did see some life from the Falcons, and we saw the Falcons able to take advantage by running London Lewis to the edges, and then allow him to get a clear passing lane and see where areas where he could pick apart the Marlow defense, and that's how Millwood got on the board in the first half of this game.
No, yeah, I think they should keep rolling him out in the pass game. And I think that, like you kind of alluded to earlier on that, it was 3rd and 2, run him up the middle, or just have some QB runs, right? Some draws, some Supermans, also they call them. I think that might open up the game, the running game some more, and the pass game for others.
Yeah, and that being said, Marlow was able to dictate tempo. They were able to dictate pace. They were able to maintain everything they wanted to maintain. Because when you can win in the trenches, then you force the other team to come out of character. You have to force them to bring pressure. You have to force them to find ways to stop you. Then all of a sudden, if you're being too aggressive, you find yourself in open space, you miss a tackle, and then all of a sudden it's to the house. That happened several times. The player of the first half, if you have to give it to any of them, when it comes to what Marlow was able to do, 3 touchdowns in this game by Clinton Layden. Clinton Layden in the game itself has rushed for 104 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's been the one. He's been the weapon in the passing game. He's been a weapon in the backfield. And what Marlow does is they put their running backs in all types of positions. Running backs on the outside, running as receivers. Then you move those running backs back. They set in these sets, and they flare out. So if you've been throwing it to me in different sets, they're just trying to get isolated for one-on-one plays. And then as soon as you start following them, they have shown that Marlow said, okay, we'll cut back with a couple of counter gap plays running. And Millwood has just not been able to sustain gap, as they say, sound gap defense, and it's allowed Marlow to get things going. As originally reported earlier tonight, we talked about it. It came out earlier this afternoon on this game one suspension for Michael Billingsley in this game. And also Millwood is also without 5 players. It's worth noting.
6 if you want to include Carter Ray, who's also wide receiver for Millwood. He's also hurt. He hurt something in his hip earlier this week in practice, so he's out as well.
So you're talking about 6 players that you would be counting on tonight, and maybe they might make a difference. They might not. You don't talk about it in that standpoint. But you have to say here, what you're seeing, is this the best version of Millwood? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
And given the schedule, Millwood plays this week, a bye week, and we will see what things look like against Douglas in a couple of weeks. But you really don't know, and that's one of those things. So what you have to do if you're Gerald Jones and at halftime is you've got to rally the troops. We get the ball back, and here it is. Not worried about what the score is. Can we win the second half of this game? And I think that's where the conversation needs to originate. What else do you think the Falcons need to pour into that conversation?
I think you said it all, Maurice. I think that, can we win this second half and find ways to do it? I think it starts on defense, though, slowing down that running game, getting some quick 3-and-out stops, and continue doing what you're doing on offense. I think they built some momentum going in the second half on offense.
And I think that's exactly the angle that the Falcons will have to take to get the most out of this opportunity in the second half. We're going to take another quick break. In fact, we'll take a 3-minute break this time and come back, and it'll be time to start the second half. We'll talk more and give you more information coming up in just a minute. This is Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, OCCC, and Super Prep.
Sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Injuries don't wait for business hours. Now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
got, they talking about throw it. I'm just saying, hey, listen, that's got to be one way that Millwood gets back into the game. They've got to find a way. I got to give a shout out to Danny Gold on the ones and twos in the studio holding it down, because that's exactly how you're going to try and find your way back in. But you have to earn your stripes back into this game. You cannot try to win the game in one possession. You don't have to quick strike. What you want more than anything is to put points on the board, build the momentum, and then try to make and win the second half of the game. You want to win that. No matter how it goes, win the second half of the game. Miles, I think that's the angle you got to take. We've all been in games where the first half didn't look good. But if you go in the mentality of, hey, look, I've got to score 30 points, and you start trying to get it back, you say, no, let me win the second half. Possession by possession, build the brick house based upon that, and then you have to live with the results after that. Because you can't go back and make – there is not a 30-point touchdown play in football.
There's not, and I think you're right. Play by play, brick by brick is how the Falcons will get back in this game, and I'm excited to see what the second half holds for the Falcons. I think this is a big second half for the Falcons moving forward with their confidence and a building block for the season.
One of the bright spots for the Falcons definitely has been the play of Quincy Hill. Quincy Hill, in terms of receiving, Quincy Hill has 75 yards receiving. He has 25 yards running the ball. It's 100 yards all-purpose. That's a weapon. You've got to find a way to line him up in different positions, move him around, and see if you can get him going in open space. We've seen Marquise Vick have some big runs in the first half, but we've got to see some other big plays. The only touchdown caught by the Falcons was by DeMontre Butler in the first half, that 13-yard catch that he caught from London Lewis on that play. So we know the Falcons have playmakers. The key is finding a way to get them the ball to make them effective in this game.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job of getting Quincy the ball and make London more effective. I think it goes back to what you said, throwing the ball, and I think, rolling them out. That was the most success they've had getting the ball down the field in the first half.
So if they can do that, they can definitely get that done. So when we start talking about this game and you look at it before, now this was a much different game the last time these teams met. I hadn't talked about this too much tonight, but it's worth mentioning now because Marlow did have an extra chip on their shoulder. Now, Marlow and Millwood have not had a lot of history, but the last time these teams did play, Marlow lost in the semifinals to Millwood by the score of 36-34. Marlow led 21-14 at the end of the first, 21-12 at the end of the first half. But then it all changed in the second half as Millwood would outscore them 16-7. Going into overtime, both teams scored. Millwood gets the 2-point conversion and wins. But in that game, you have to say everything was going Marlow's way. Millwood was turning the ball over, gave up bad field position.
Yeah.
And it looked like when it's all said and done, it was over. But Millwood managed to score a touchdown in every frame, and that is eventually how they won that game. This game is completely different from that one. And that game, when we start talking about total yards and points and all those yards that were run in that first game, you're saying that Marlow ran the ball for 252 yards that game, but Millwood ran for 217. So that's automatically a different type of beast right there. Marlow threw the ball in that game for just 30 yards. Millwood threw the ball for 140.
Yeah.
So Millwood showed its ability to be explosive, and then when Marlow found itself being one-dimensional, that is where the conflict and the situation went on. So also just to let you know, the power has just been restored down the street.
Okay, that's good.
So that game will go on in just a moment here. But 12 minutes has now been put back on the clock. We're ready to get the second half of this game going right here. We've kind of given you the blueprint of how to get back in this game. Today's game is being brought to you by Super Prep. Super Prep is the premier sports outlet featuring the very best in high school and college students in the city, state, and nation. Super Prep can be found, of course, on OKC Sports Radio 105.3. And, Super Prep OK. And when Miles is in the line to get a sandwich, let the man get a sandwich. My man's trying to get a sandwich. People will say, "Hey, man, what's going on with this?" He says, "Well, right now, what I got going on right here is this basket with this sandwich and this fry.
Yeah.
And if the fries could find a way with some ketchup on it and they could end up in my stomach, you know, it would be a tremendous score. You might see that trending.
You might see the old sandwich trending with some chips. And,
As long as nobody don't try to talk to you while you're in the bathroom, Miles, you're all right, man. I'll just leave that one alone. You know, folks try to have odd conversations. Hey, man, how you doing? No, man, I ain't talking to you in here. But when people want to know, they want to know.
No, they want to know. You know, a lot of people want to know a lot of things. So, you know.
So because you are who you are, you walk around, people start calling your names. You're like, what? Who?
It's funny a lot, and I was talking to the middle school football team in Millwood. You know, they didn't come. They said Super Prep. You know, they didn't say my name, but I respond to that as well. If you see me out in the street, you can say Super. You know, but shout out to the little Falcons out there. They play on Tuesday.
All right, let's see how they go. So the Falcons will receive the ball. Back to receive the ball deep is DeMontre Butler back there, as well as Quincy Hill. So the officials got we're still missing, okay, there we are. We've got.
And Maurice, I got some news. Owasso just took the lead over Bigsby. So it's a game up there, Battle of the Burbs. I think if Bigsby loses the season opener, I think that's a big deal in Oklahoma right now.
Where were they in the way too early?
They're number one.
In Super
The
Prep?
way too early rankings, ladies.
Yes.
The way too early. Not week one. That's week 0 rankings. Week 1 rankings will come out next week.
So going to work right now. And the ball is in play. And it's going to drift out of bounds for illegal procedure. And the kickers have got to do a better job of putting the ball in play. I mean, both of them. I mean, spotting yards in a game like this, it doesn't have the impact that you think it has, but it keeps you down.
Yeah.
But in a game where it matters, you don't want that penalty.
No.
Stop giving away free real estate, you know?
It's week 0 for a reason.
It is. But you don't see teams' best football week 0. You see the best coaching jobs in week 0 because of adjustments. You see players in new places explode, and you see new things. But it does not necessarily mean anything. Again, it's not where you start in high school football, it's where you finish. A lot of these teams are just getting going, having a chance to hit somebody else. The great thing about it is you just want to avoid cramps and everybody get out the game healthy. Ball snap. Lewis is rolling, firing. Has a pass. It's going to be caught. Great catch by Miles Mitchell. Mitchell's going to get a Falcon first down all the way up to midfield, a gain of 15 yards. And, again, it's putting Lewis
outside the pocket. He looks very comfortable rolling down, throwing that ball.
You know, one of the best NFL quarterbacks in terms of running and throwing the ball, at least rolling to the outside, one of them, and I'm going to hit everybody with that, and we'll see if London Lewis earns that name. But for me, I'm showing my age, Jake Plummer. Jake the Snake Plummer, who made his noise in Denver and then, of course, did his thing in Arizona for a couple of years. He would always have that ability to roll. And this time, Lewis with a nice ball fake, but this time there was nothing doing there. He was swallowed by Outlaws on that play, dropped about 6 yards on the play, and there was really nothing he could do. The communication was not there. The offensive linemen were trying to set up a screen play, but Marlow got in the backfield too quick. One of those things that you have to do is on a screen, you're supposed to say 1001, 1002. They said 1000 and let him run through. That's kind of what happened on that play.
It was a nice move, though. I thought,
Well, not on the screen because the offensive lineman wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean,
they were already getting ready.
That was very instinctive, though, the little step.
He tried to pause him, but when you're 1-on-4, you're not going to win that battle. So before things get started, a timeout's going to be called on the field here by the Falcons. That is their first timeout of the second half of this one at the 10:39 mark. We'll take a quick break. 30 seconds. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, OCCC, and Super Prep.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Grab your tickets before they're gone at OKCCivicCenter.com.
You're listening to Millwood Football on Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140.
Welcome back to live action right now, coming out of the timeout. The Falcons facing a 2nd down and 15. And ball's going to be snapped. Lewis rolls, fires. Pass too tall. Pass intended that time for number 8 on the play, Aiden Parker. Pass incomplete. So 3rd down and 15 now. Now Lewis is rolling to the short side of the field. So that's interesting to note when we're rolling to the. So here we go. Four receivers now. Ball on the right hash. Lewis calling for it. Ball snapped. Going to pitch it to the outside. Goes Hill. He's going to get tripped up. What a great backfield tackle there by number 22, Brendan Harris. Brendan Harris laid the wood on Lewis earlier in the game. Now a great open field tackle against Hill. So Harris did a good job, and that's the definition of an open field tackle. So now 4th down and forever. The Falcons are going to have to punt this ball. Under 10 minutes to go when this ball will be snapped here, Miles. And if you're the Falcons, you saw a little bit of a 1st down, so you felt good about that. You're going to have to punt the ball now, but it's going to be critical now that the defense comes out with the mentality to stop them. You got to do it. High snapped over the head. He's got to find it. He's got to get it and fall on it. He's trying to create space. He's going to have to go ahead and kick it or throw the ball, and he didn't do it. So, therefore, it's going to go down as a major running loss on the play. The ball snapped over Estrada's head. Estrada had to get it, and all he had to do is get it and throw it, because if you get it and throw it as a quarterback, the pass is incomplete, and you get the ball at the original spot. Or what he was trying to do, find a crease or some daylight to punt it. But more importantly, don't think you're going to make something when everybody's running downhill after you. So now the Outlaws will have the ball. 1st and goal, it looks like, is that the 6-yard line? It's at the 5-yard line. So the Falcons are substituting. 9:38 to go. The Outlaws looking to add on to their lead. Right now the score 39-6. Ball snapped. Going to hand the ball up the middle and into the end zone he goes for a touchdown, and that is Noah Torres. And Noah Torres has now just got his 3rd touchdown of the night. Between him and Clint Layden, they have 6.
2 hat tricks.
2 hat tricks going up for the Outlaws. So that pushes the score to 45-6, pending the extra point. Now that has been something of a crapshoot tonight. Some of these snaps for these guys in special teams, it's easier to get the power ball number than it is to get the snap down. Somebody's going to ask me how true that is. I don't know. And the extra point attempt is good.
Extra point is good.
So that moves it to a 7 point. So now it's 46.
Please join us in
So 46 to
Millwood High School
46 to 6.
Miss Kayla Hester. Miss Hester has been named a 2026 Sulian Sasser Educator Award honoree. She has served in public
As it stands right now,
46
46 to 6 is the score. Right now, Marlow has a 40-point lead. The Falcons need an opportunity to try and score to get it back down, but the clock is now in a running clock mode. And that's where it sits at right now, Miles. So we are at the running clock stage.
Yeah.
At 7 p.m. against Heritage Hall. Remember,
So-
there's no school on September 7th.
And again, as we get ready to keep this thing going week 0, do we have any more score updates going on out there, Miles, when you get a second here?
We do. Bigsby just took the lead against Owasso 35-27 in the second half. And that's it right now going on in the Super Prep team group chat. Live from Tulsa, Will Green, Super Prep Insider.
All right. So now as it goes right now, trying to continue to build the scores of teams going all across the state right now. Westmore getting hammered by Moore 51-0. So now going to work right now. Ball's going to be caught this time running up there. DeMontre Butler with a crease.
I think he's gone.
He's still on his feet. He's going to run out of bounds as he lost his balance right there near midfield. Going to bounce at about the 45-yard line. Showing some spark, showing some fight. Edmond North has a lead against Edmond Santa Fe 41-6 right now. UConn up 37-0 against Putnam City right now. Mustang 17-0 on Choctaw right now. So those are just some of the scores going on right now across the state. A lot of good games going on. Lawton Eisenhower right now, 44-0 right now. So that's one of the other scores that might be a little bit of a surprise, and then other people will say not so much. Putnam City North getting hammered by Bishop McGinnis, 66-0. Ball is being snapped right now. Going to throw it in the flat, and that is a live ball. They ruled it as an incomplete pass, and I'm trying to understand how that is. It was forward enough? Okay, just from my vantage point. Somebody said he threw the ball forward. Okay, that's good for me to know. 6:46 to go in the third quarter right now. Millwood facing a 2nd down and 10. Elgin up on Bethany right now, 28-0. That's another score out there right now. Tulsa East Central up 26-0 against U.S. Grant right now. Duncan up 21-6 against Altus. 4 receivers right now. Ball is snapped. Lewis has it, throws it over the middle. Pass is going to be caught. It's going to be a first down yardage there. Great catch by Keaton Payne. Payne's going to catch the ball into Marlow territory. Ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line. Week 0 does have some interesting matchups out there. Durant and Ada. Ada up 12-7 against Durant right now. Going back to work right now. 4 receivers, split. Lewis in shotgun, drops back in the pocket, rolls, throws. Pass going to be caught. Nice move in the middle of the field. Caught there by Kevon Shields. Shields is going to take the ball down to the Marlow 40-yard line. Setting up 2nd down and what will be about 7 yards to go. Lining back up. 4 receivers. Trips to the left. Lewis with 10 seconds on the play clock. Ball is snapped. Lewis drifts. Drops back. Throws it. Hill has it. Hill dances. Down inside the 30 with a nice pitch and catch. So Hill's going to take the ball down inside the 35, down to the 30. It's going to be a Falcon first down. Finding some momentum. Just take, as they used to say, take the duck.
Yeah.
You know, you don't got to shoot the 3. Just come on out here get a couple of layups, get into the end zone and score. Going to work right now. Falcons looking to put points up in the second half. 4 receivers. Ball snap. Lewis looks right, fires the ball deep into the corner.
Touchdown.
And the pass is going to be caught for a touchdown. 28-yard touchdown pass into the end zone. Did we see who caught it there?
Butler.
DeMontre Butler with his second touchdown catch of the day. Butler putting together a nice set of numbers in his own right. As the Falcon vertical gain now reaches 171 yards. DeMontre Butler with touchdowns of now 13 and 29 yards. He's caught basically 2 catches for 42 yards on the night. But I'll take that when you add on the touchdown to go with it. And the extra point attempt is blocked, and that play is blown dead. But the Falcons do score again, their first points of the second half. Both teams have put up 6 points on the board, and the score sits at right now 46-12. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, Super Prep, and OCCC.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Beverage manufacturing plant. He starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's get back to more play-by-play Millwood Falcons football. Only on Heart and Soul 92.1 at 1140.
And the Falcons managed to put another scoring drive on the table. Now the lead. Falcons now have 12 on the board. So both teams have scored in the second half of this game. So as Miles and I talked about at halftime, the intention now has to be to win the second half. Yeah. And that shootout, as Estrada puts it up in the air, going to be caught right about the 20-yard line, out to the 25, and going to step out of bounds just shy of the 36. Is they're going to say the return was out? Oh, exactly to the 35-yard line. So the Falcons now are starting to put up some respectable numbers. 156 yards of total offense. It's just that negative 15 yards rushing has them sitting at that right now when you have 171 yards passing. The Falcons' inability tonight to run the ball has really created opportunities, so Lewis has had to revert into a bag, if you will, Miles, to find certain things to make it work, to find certain things to get some good things going. But it's been a struggle to find and get traction because of that circumstance and that alone.
No, yeah, and Lewis has adjusted well.
Ball is snapped. They're going to swing the ball to the outside, and the ball pass is going to be caught by Torres. Torres makes a man miss and is running down the sideline. Runs out of real estate right there in front of the bench. It's going to be out of bounds inside the 50. We're going to mark it, I think, at the 47-yard line. Big-time run by Torres as he, again, shows his explosiveness to hit the Jets and hit the outside edge. I mean, he's been like a Blair if he gets a crease, Miles. He's found his angles.
He does. And I feel like all the backs at Marlow know how to use their angles and the blocks when they get the ball come out the backfield.
See, that's what makes them so dangerous. See, Clinton Layden is now a receiver, but he's had 3 touchdowns in the backfield, and now you stretch him out. He's the receiver on the outside. They now have 2 receivers and 1 back in the backfield. 1 second to snap it, and they just barely get it off. Ball is down at this time. In terms of Brendan Weber, just basically has to take that play. They didn't want to give up the yards. 3:24 to go in the third quarter. 2nd down and 12 following the loss. They'll reset that play on this one. On this, looks like the same play, same call. Double tight, 2 receivers split, and then on top of that, you got one back in the backfield. Coming across the formation, and they give it to Torres, and Torres has a whole daylight. Bounces to the outside at the 20, hits the Jets at the 15, 10, 5, and he's finally knocked out of bounds inside the 10. Torres with a tremendously explosive run. That run started at the 49-yard line, and boy, could he get it on that one.
It was a nice burst by him cutting up the middle there. I didn't know he had that in him.
Again, the line, when you say the trouble that they have been able, the Marlow, the strength that they have shown in the trenches, blowing people right off the box, that particular lane, you could have driven a truck through it. The way that Torres hit that, he got into some wide space and then had the courage to bounce it outside and hit the Jets. Yeah. Torres is in the backfield again, and they're going to give it to Torres. No, they're not this time. Torres walks into the end zone. That is a touchdown. And for the Outlaws, that is Torres's, now his, there is a flag on the field. It'll be a 6-yard run if it stands, but that'll be his 4th touchdown of the night. So the officials are discussing it, but they keep pointing toward Millwood. I can't think that it's not going to go against the Falcons here. Oh, it's a chop block against Marlow. So that's going to come off the board. So take the points off, take the 4th touchdown off the board, all of that. And that's how that has to go right now. With the score, the clock, if they score again, it will get back to a running clock. But as it stands right now, it's under 35. So that's kind of how the rule goes, and the Falcons are trying. Nobody really wants that. That's one of those things where they do it to protect the integrity of the players and prevent injury to the players, which I think is a smart move.
I didn't see the chop block. Did you see it?
Well, the chop block took place right there against the defensive end when Torres got the ball and jumped into the what they call the A gap. But it'll be 1st and goal. The ball now will be spotted just shy of the 15-yard line. Looks like it's going to be about the 13. They're going to fake it, swing it back to the outside, and running right down the edge and running into a brick wall before he's bounced out. Good catch there by number 2, Jackson Murray. He runs it back inside the 5. Looks like we'll be staring at 2nd and goal.
Number 2 with the reception.
Jackson Murray with the play. So coming out. So double tight, 2 receivers. Split on either side, 19 seconds on the play clock. When they snap it, it'll be under 2 minutes to go. Single back, deep back is Clint Layden. And then going to work, bouncing inside and diving into the end zone for a touchdown goes Clint Layden. So he will get his 4th touchdown of the night. In fact, that's his 2nd 4-yard touchdown of the night, in fact. So Clinton Layden add to that. So the Outlaws continuing to add to that rushing total on the night. So as it stands right now, 258 yards. 258 yards rushing on the night. Yeah, we're going to need to get a recap on the total yards rushing here. But we're trying to get that. As number 10, Jet Gilbert tries to put it through. And it's right through the uprights. So as it stands right now, it is 14 points scored in the 3rd quarter for them. And now they extend the lead 53-12. So 13 points in the second half of 14 points in the second half of this game for Marlow thus far. So it's going to be critical that you start seeing things again, and the clock once again becomes a running clock. So we saw Millwood score on the last possession. Miles, what impressed you about the last drive for Millwood?
I think that's the passing game and how open the receivers got downfield, and especially along the sideline. I feel like some curl routes, some posts going to the sideline were open for them. Since we keep talking about they're playing deep, but they're not playing close up, right? So I think there's windows open for Mr. Lewis to see there, and I think rolling them out is key, And I like the dump downs with Quincy and spreading everybody and just giving a little quick dump down.
And DeMondre Butler has shown himself to be a gamer when it comes to finding it. So updating on the stat totals right there, Marlow now has officially 370 yards of total offense, 258 on the ground, 112 in the air. For the Millwood side of things right now, Millwood has 156 yards of total offense. But I do like two out of the last three possessions the Millwood Falcons have scored, which means the game is slowing down a little bit for them. They're getting a little bit more traction. That's an important detail. You got to be happy if you're about that for the Falcons. You got to find things positively to build on in this, and that's one of them you can do. So now here we go now. The officials now cleared, and we're ready to put the ball in play. And it looks like we have a new kicker. This is Brody Bishop who's going to kick the ball. He's going to take a bounce. Butler does pick it up inside the 10. He returns to the 20-yard line, turns the corner at the 30, hits the Jets, and is going to be blasted out of bounds right about the 40-yard line. Butler has shown himself to have that speed. He gets a crease, and once he finds it, he explodes and takes it down for another nice kickoff out of the, a nice return. And that's what you need. You need somebody to make the game a little easier for your offense. Giving them the ball at the right around midfield opens the playbook so much more to be explosive.
It does. I think it does. And I think I'm going to call Butler Hollywood. He kind of got that he's making some plays.
So Hollywood tonight.
Hollywood Butler.
Hollywood making some moves right there, so that's pretty good. Got to like that. And I like it, and it's good how you did that, Mike. I like that. Because aesthetically, I like when you give someone a name, it just has to just feel right.
Yeah. He has that feel. He does. I mean, he does. He reminds me a little bit of Hollywood Brown from OU, so that's why I said Hollywood Butler,
And that's an important detail. As we've now hit officially the fourth quarter, we'll take a 30-second break. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, OCCC, and Super Prep.
Let's take a break and then get back to more Millwood Falcon Football, only on Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140.
The Ricky Smiley Morning Show, the most funny in the morning. It's the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, I hope y'all having a great weekend. And on Monday, we're going to give you another chance to win some cash money.
Hey, and I got that hot spot with music, movies, and more. Gary, you ready for the word of the week?
Oh, Brad, of course, honey. Now, we'll be expanding your vocabulary. And, honey, I have some piping hot celebrity tea with another fabulous color of the day. All right, party people, enjoy your weekend. Wake up with us on Monday. Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
It's the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Let's get back to more Millwood football on Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140.
Someone else is up 6-0.
Back to live action now. Ball snapped. And they're going to do a halfback toss. Going the ball deep. And there should be pass interference there. There was contact made. Quincy Hill became the quarterback, threw the ball deep, tried to hit number 8 on the play. That was Aiden Parker. Contact was made to Aiden as he turned around to try to grab that pass. So that pass interference will move the ball ahead. And again, the Falcons opening up the playbook, settling down. We're getting to see more and more of the vertical game and the way that they can get things moving.
Yeah, I like that, though. I mean, something different. I think he would have caught it if he wasn't an interference.
So as it goes right now, 11:15 to go. And that's going to move the ball. Because remember, in high school, pass interference is not an automatic first down.
You think they should change that rule?
Well, there are certain rules that are for a high school, and there's certain ones for a certain level. I've learned to respect it at this level, but I'm every time I have to remind myself, I'm like, why do we have to march it off? It's because, the NFL is the killer one. It's a spot foul.
Yeah.
College, pass interference, 10 yards, you move up, you get a first down. And before things get started here, false start against the Falcons, so it had to be two people moving. Illegal shift, he called it a false start. But that's going to back him up 5 yards, so it'll be first down and 15. $10:35 to go in this contest right now. Going to run the clock. 18 seconds on the play clock. Hollywood Butler then got back in. And you can say that because he's running out there with that long,
the towel,
the long towel or whatever you want to call it. It might even say Falcon on it. I don't know what it says on it. And before things get started again, it's a delay of game penalty against the Falcons. But I'm trying to see how that's a delay of game.
They didn't restart the clock?
No, the clock was at 18 seconds, so it's a 25-second clock. But once you get the ball ready for play, he sets it and they run it. So now the clock is running. So Millwood has to be ready. 4 receivers now, trips to the left side. Ball snapped. Going to throw it over the middle. That pass deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, cramp.
And right then and there.
Cut a cramp.
Payne is down with the cramp right there. They're going to see here. He's trying to get up. We'll see if he'll get up and try to walk off under his own power. But he's definitely feeling that. And Payne.
He's the first cramp we've seen today.
Yes, he is. But second down and 20 is what it goes. 19 seconds on the play clock. We're officially under 9.5 to play in the game. 4 receivers, trips to the left side, and now we have somebody coming in the game late. Ball snap, nobody knows what's going on.
Late sub.
And the ball's rolling around on the ground. With the play being busted, Marlow's going to take over.
I think there's a timeout before. I think.
We'll see here. Did the official say it's a timeout? So we're getting the official call. So too many men on the field against the Falcons. So the play is blown dead is what they're basically saying. Confusion. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is Marlow football. Marlow has declined the penalty, so it will go down as a turnover. But that was one of those plays, if you're Lewis, I know the coaches reserve the right for a timeout.
Yeah.
But when I don't have everybody out here and I don't see what I need to see, timeout, because that whole turnover for the Outlaws was given simply because you decided to go ahead and try and run the play. It's just something for them to think about going forward on how that needs to be executed. 2 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield, going to hand it off. New runner in the field. He finds a crease, cuts downhill, breaks it to the outside. He's going to get bounced out inside the 30-yard line. They're going to mark him down at about the 25. So Bryce Johnson with the carry that time. So fresh new legs. We might have seen the last of tonight of Noah Torres and Clint Layton. So this time we're going to have another look, and there's a timeout called on the field by Millwood this time. Personnel and communication, everybody's got to get back on the same page. But this is where those difficult moments in football is. You're down big, clock's running down, it's late in the fourth quarter, and your brain wants to check out.
Yeah.
So what everybody needs to understand, this is when, Coach Billingsley and his staff are going to really look at the tape.
Yeah.
Because they want to see if you're locked in. I mean, Miles, I know your history of playing sports runs through basketball, but in those situations when the game is bad, what did the coaches used to say to you in those moments when, the game wasn't going or the things were – what were kind of the things that you were hearing at the time?
I think work on the stuff that we need to get better on in those situations. Like, I think one from Millwood tonight is, getting off blocks for the D-line. Like you said, you alluded to earlier, wrapping up and finishing tackles. I mean, the score is what it is, but you can work on those things to go into, your bye week and the next week of that and build those habits now in the actual game. And those are the things we were told, playing basketball and, working on the stuff you want to build on to in the season and form good habits. And there's plenty enough time to do that for Millwood.
Yes, there absolutely is, but what you have to keep in mind is you got to stay in the game.
Yeah.
You got to stay locked in the game mentally. You've got to stay focused. Every play matters and those things. Football's a lot harder to do because basketball, you see the ball go in, you feel good about yourself. You're running up the court. Listen, if the coach had put me in earlier, what it is. Football, you don't get that. You don't get that joy. Football is a team, can be individualized and highlighted by performances. But at the end of the day, with a big-time hit right there in the backfield, nice job there. Put it on tape there. That's Marquaylin Vick with that hit there.
It's a flag on the field.
So it looks like they're about to call a penalty against Millwood. Okay. Personal foul called against Millwood. So that has to be after the play was over, after a big-time hit. So personal foul against the Falcons, but that was away from where the game action took place. It almost hurt the tremendous job that Marquaylin Vick did. The defensive penalty will automatically give Marlow a first down. 7:51 to play in this game. 53-12 is the score. Falcons down. Down 41 points. Ball is snapped. Going to flick it out into the flats. And another great open field tackle by the Falcons.
It's Vick again.
Quincy Hill in on that stop, and also needs to be noteworthy that we have a new quarterback in the game for Marlow. That is Brett Wolf, the other senior. He's getting some opportunities in here.
Second down and 12.
So 2nd down and 12 is where it stands now. 41-point lead advantage. 15 seconds on the play clock. Ball is snapped. Going to hand the ball off, trying to get to the outside. Great pursuit by Vick, but he's not able to stop him. With a burst of speed getting out to that edge, Bryce Johnson showing those fresh legs off. He's going to get the ball right near the 10. Might be inside the 10 at the 5. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 2, maybe 3rd down and about 1.
3rd down and 2.
6:11 to go in this contest. Wolf looking over the defense. Double tight, 2 receiver split. Timeout called by Marlow. We'll take a break here as well. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, OCCC, and Super Prep.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
At Eventbrite. See you Saturday, August 29th from 7 a.m.
Millwood High School football on Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140.
And we are back at the Good House tonight. Millwood down by 41 points, and Marlow looking to put more on the board. Under 6 minutes to go here. Looking at some of the scores, looking at 6A2 overall. UConn up on Putnam City 37-7 right now. So that game's going there. Booker T up 20-7 against Collinsville right now. And Booker T is coming to Putnam City next week. Might be the game of the week on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 in a couple of weeks here. Ball is snapped. Going right up the middle. It's going to be close to but there is a flag on the field here. It's in the area of holding. Let's see what the call is. The officials are meeting right there next to the offensive lineman. That's never a good place to talk. Millwood is saying, again, they're saying, well, the penalty is against, because he kind of gave the offside signal, but that's a different one. That looks like a chop block. And that's going to move the ball in, move it back beyond the 20-yard line out to the 21. So as it stands right now, so third down and long now. They can get a first down if they can get inside the 5-yard line. 5:48 to go. Clock is running. Wolf has it. Snaps, going to put it up. Pressure. Wolf fires it. And the pass is going to be caught. He's fighting. Inside into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolf.
5 with the reception and touchdown.
Beckham Bishop gets into the end zone for a touchdown for Marlow. Marlow adds another touchdown to the second half of this game. They're going to bring out Jet Gilbert for the extra point. Lining it up. It's down, the kick. And a little bit of a conversation going on here as Millwood and the coach was talking about things to the official. So after the extra point, a little extracurricular, Marquelin Vick, a little emotional after the play. The extra point is good, and the score now extends to 60-12. So when we start talking about that, Millwood now down 48 points overall. Clock continues to run. A reminder coming up, immediately follow the game. It will be the Super Prep post-game show, where we will discuss the outcome and what the biggest takeaways from this night is. It is, what we can tell you is, welcome back to 2A Marlow.
Yeah.
And they just served notice that at the end of the year, you can expect Marlow to be in the mix some way. They've shown me enough tonight to know that they have an established system. Matt Weber has another great squad. Looks like it's about to. And again, many people have said this is the best senior class that Marlow has ever had. And right now, you're seeing it on so many different levels. So it's something definitely to talk about. So as it stands right now, New kicker, Brody Bishop, going to put it in play. You got Hollywood back there along with Quincy Hill. And now the ball's in play. Ball rolls around. Butler has to get it. He finds it in a big hole right up the middle.
Hollywood.
Butler might be gone. And he runs right into. He was brought down. That ball, he was down. Are they going to say it's Marlow's ball?
He was down.
Okay. To me, he was down. I don't know how that's. I know instant replay does not exist in high school football. The officials are saying it's Marlow ball, and I'm here to tell you that's not Marlow's ball. He had it, burst, got tackled, and when he hit the ground, that's what caused it. But here's the reality of it. And I always go by the player's reaction. Butler's not looking upset at the call.
No, that means
If you're not upset at the call, to me it leads you to believe that maybe the ball was loose and moving around, and that's what caused the fumble. So as it stands right now, it is 1st and 10 Marlow ball. Marlow going for more. Under a minute to go left in this contest. Ball is snapped. Going to hand it off to Johnson again. Johnson up the middle. A flag is on the play. Johnson's going to take it to the house, but this is coming back. That penalty is back here at the 49-yard line. It is holding against Marlow. Bryce Johnson was looking for that, and that clock's going to continue to run, and if they don't bring it back quickly, that will be the final play of the game. And now we have a cramp. So now the coaches have stopped the clock. The officials have stopped the clock because we have a cramp. So a cramp on the has actually stopped the play. All the trainers are out here. So now going to what they need to do. And when they get the cramp going, Miles, I mean, it's just a crazy situation how that goes.
Yeah, I don't miss any of them Charlie horses.
Well, hey, man, I know what that's like. Kavon Shields is able to walk off under his own power, but he's definitely cramping up. And with 9 seconds on the clock, as soon as the ball is ready for play, as soon as the players are on the field, and so now they're getting up here talking to the officials. And as soon as that is set, the official will wind the clock. So as the clock, okay, so now run the clock. And the final seconds.
I don't think they're going to snap it.
And 3, 2, and 1. And that is the final stats of today's game. The game comes to a close. Millwood loses the home opener 60-12. We'll take a 1-minute break, come back on the other side, and wrap it up live right here from the Good House. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, Super Prep, and of course, OCCC. Welcome back. It is time for the post-game show. Maurice Prince, Miles Perry from Super Prep. You know, Miles, when we start talking about how this game was, the breaking story this afternoon, can you recap what happened today and how the events came into play?
Well, there was an announcement that head coach of Millwood Falcons, Mike Bensley, was held out due to investigations of violating the rule, the OSSA, and so they held him out tonight, and that's all we know as of right now. No further information than that.
No further news on that, but you have that, and then you had some players that are also held out tonight as well. So when it comes to this score, 60-12, you have to say for yourself that was an ugly number. And here's the reality, Falcon Nation. We really don't know how severe that impact goes. What we do know is that the team was impacted by this.
Yes.
Clearly.
For sure.
And what we don't know is to what extent did that really truly impact. We know the Falcons possess a vertical game, but the running game and the defensive identity of the Falcons did not look to be on full display tonight, as Marlow did basically whatever they wanted to do, running the ball to the amount of 286 yards, amassing 419 yards of total offense. What that tells me is the game plan Marlow wanted was to control the line of scrimmage, and they did that. I said it earlier, Matt Weber, an excellent coach. He found what worked. He stayed with it, didn't change out of the game plan, didn't give Millwood any breathing room, and it made Millwood have to respond. Now, Millwood had 6 points in this game and in about a 3 to 4 possession, had 2 scores in a 3 to 4 possession stretch of this game. That's something to build on. We saw some bright lights. We saw some special teams firework potential. But as of right now, what do we really know about Millwood?
Not a lot. We got a little of a glimpse of the offensive side, and like you said earlier, we don't know the full identity of the defense yet. So we're looking forward to see what happens in the next couple weeks.
Right. So the problem with that notion is you won't, as a Falcon fan, and it's for the coaches here at Millwood, you have to really reset the table and really build now towards Soul Bowl. Because Soul Bowl is the next game for the Falcons, which is in 2 weeks. They are off next week, week 1. So week 2, they will have this chance to play. Where Douglas, on the other hand, tonight is in action against Dallas Kimball tonight. They were down big last time we saw. Yeah. Then you're going to turn around. They got a game against Star Spencer next week, the Power Bowl. And then they got to reset who they are and then get ready for Millwood the week after. So if you're Millwood, you want to get everybody back on the same page, retool, build off what you did well, and then find a way to get your identity and your swagger back. Marlow came down here to the Good House today in the pit and showed us the physicality that they're going to be bringing to every team that they play in Class 2A all season long. Now, let me just ask you this, Miles. You've only had a 1-game sample size of this Marlow team. It's way too early, but this is what you do. You're in the business of way too early. It's not a stretch to say Marlow is a playoff team.
It's not.
Do you think they're a state semifinal team tonight?
3A is just, I don't know.
Well, see, they're in 2A.
They're in 2A now? Okay, they came down. Okay. They are then.
Okay.
They are.
So to me, they are a team that can get into that group. So the object for this Millwood Falcon team is to shake this off, because after Douglas in 2 weeks, then you go into Heritage Hall, and then you start district play. So it's going to be critical that the Falcons find their traction and get it. Final statistics tonight. If I had to give a Falcon player of the game, although it's between, to me, since you call Demontre Hollywood Butler, or are you going to give it to what I think deserves a very good one is Quincy Hill. Quincy Hill did not get all the money played, but Quincy Hill did have a nice stat line overall, 75 yards receiving. He only finished with 16-yard passing on the night, but one of those was a pass play that he had nothing to do with. He just caught the ball and had to eat that. But to me, he deserves that. But who are you going to give it to?
I think Quincy Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a reminder tonight, coming up a little bit later on, that you got to tune in and get ready to tune into Prep Zone. Prep Zone coming up with D. Wright and also Luke Orvis. They will break down and give you some love on all the scores and big games that's going on. We are going to get out of here tonight and get ready. Miles, it was an honor calling this game with you tonight. It was a lot of fun. and we'll get ready for the next one. You've been listening to Millwood Falcon Football, with or without the band, if you won't. Millwood Falcon Football brought to you by SSM Health, OCCC, and of course Super Prep.